Isabelle met a tortoise called Tango roaming without a care. Isabelle thought that unfair. Tango was nasty, Tango was terrible, even his friends thought it was unbearable. Tango said, "Nice to meet you. I'll beat you, then I'll eat you." Isabelle didn't worry, not even a scream, not even a scurry. She held her hands, she puckered her lips, "I'll just make you into my curry. I have curry, so don't be in a hurry. I'm just making curry tonight." She beat him down, and then making the smile into a frown. By Joshua Burns.
Isabelle met an enormous lion. Isabelle wasn't frightened. The lion was angry, the lion was mean, but they were fighting in the wrong scene. The lion said, "Isabelle, nice to meet you." "Not really, but now I'll eat you." Isabelle didn't scream, although the lion's nose was full of steam. She went closer to stare while she put her hair in a messy bunch. Then the lion soon became her lunch.
Isabelle met an enormous dragon. Isabelle couldn't imagine. The dragon was mad, the dragon was sad, the dragon's breath was terribly bad. The dragon said, "Isabelle, glad to meet you. How do? Now I'll eat you." Isabelle didn't worry, scream or scurry. Isabelle put her hair in a bunch, then ate the dragon for her lunch.
Isabelle met a warty witch. Isabelle had a stitch. Isabelle had recorded an episode of Lilo and Stitch. Isabelle ran in a hurry, eating her mum's chicken curry. A minute later she started to scurry. The witch was mean, she had a frown. The witch's teeth were ugly and brown. The witch said, "Isabelle, glad to meet you. How do you do? Now I'll eat you." The next day Isabelle came back and said, "You don't scare me, witch. Nice to meet you. Now I'll eat you."
Isabelle met an enormous bear. Isabelle didn't care. The bear was angry, the bear was brown, with a crown. The bear's mouth was ravenous. Isabelle met a scaly dragon. Isabelle didn't care. The dragon was ferocious, the dragon was red. The dragon's mouth was cool and cavernous. The dragon said, "How do, Isabelle, now? Now I'll eat you." Isabelle didn't worry. Isabelle didn't scream or scurry. She licked her lips and rubbed her hands and scrunched her hair into a bunch. Then Isabelle munched the dragon up.
Isabelle met a dirty giant. Isabelle continued self-reliant. The giant was scary, the giant was smelly. Isabelle could not stop looking at the giant's big belly. The giant was eager to have an assistant. Isabelle thought him persistent. "Hi Isabelle, glad to meet you. How do, Isabelle, now? Now I'll eat you."
Rosie met a ferocious tiger, and it was growling like a fighter. But Nosy Rosie didn't care. She asked why the tiger, "What's wrong with your hair?" The tiger said, "Hello, Nosy Rosie, glad to meet you. How do Rosie now? How do Rosie now? I'll eat you." So Nosy Rosie gobbled the tiger up. Isabelle met an evil unicorn. Isabelle stood chomping sweet corn. The unicorn was angry. The unicorn was mad.
Met a ferocious bear. Isabelle didn't care. The bear was angry, the bear was round. The bear's mouth was sloppery and dark brown. The bear said, "Isabelle, glad to meet you. How do, Isabelle, now I'll eat you." Isabelle, don't worry. Isabelle, didn't scream or scurry. She rubbed her hands and scrunched her hair and quickly ate the bear.
One night Isabelle met a wicked old witch. The witch's face wrinkled and she was smelly with a big belly. Hello, Isabelle. Nice to meet you. Now I'll turn you into a little old rat. She showed no rage and turned the witch into water and drank her.
Jezebel met an enormous dragon. Jezebel stared through the window of her wagon. The dragon was green and the dragon was clean. The dragon was hurt but not well seen. The dragon said, Jezebel, I'll save you. Just kidding, I'm going to eat you. Jezebel didn't worry. Jezebel didn't scream or scurry. Jezebel said, sorry, but I'm in a hurry. So she took her shoes off and cut the dragon's head off and said, that's the end of you.
Isabelle met a mysterious bear. Isabelle didn't care. The bear was enormous, the bear was vicious. The bear was big, wide mouth and dangerous. The bear said, Isabelle, glad to meet you. How do, Isabelle, now I'll eat you. Isabelle didn't worry. Isabelle didn't scream or scurry. She licked her fingers and she tied her hair up. And then Isabelle gobbled the bear up.
Isabelle met a lonely vicious giant. Isabelle continued silent. The giant said, I'm ready for my dinner. Isabelle, I wish you were thinner. Isabelle didn't worry. Isabelle didn't scream or scurry. The giant was red. The giant was bloody. The giant was wearing a blue little hoodie. She chopped off his head and said, I can eat you now you're dead.
Isabelle met an enormous bear. Isabelle didn't care. The bear was fierce. The bear was upside down. The bear's big mouth was slobbery and brown. The bear said, Isabelle, glad to meet you. How do, Isabelle, now I'll eat you. Isabelle didn't worry. Isabelle didn't scream or scurry. Isabelle licked her hungry lips and rubbed her hands and she scrunched her ginger hair up. Then Isabelle gobbled the bear up. Isabelle met an enormous giant. Isabelle couldn't self-reliant. The giant was nasty. The giant was horrid. He had an eye in the middle of his forehead. The giant threatened to scare Isabelle and then eat her. Isabelle ate the giant in one go.
Isabelle met a ferocious bear. Isabelle asked the bear, why have you got so much hair? The bear was fierce, the bear was vicious, the bear's big mouth was slobbery and said, you look delicious. The bear said, Isabelle, glad to meet you. How do, Isabelle, now I'll eat you. She rubbed her hands, she put them on her hips. She ate the bear up and licked her lips.
Isabelle met an immense ogre. Isabelle made sure it didn't scare her. The ogre was big, the ogre was ravenous, the ogre's his nose was bubbly, his mouth was cavernous. The ogre said, hello Isabelle, glad to meet you. How do, Isabelle, now we'll kill you. Isabelle gave a sigh. Isabelle rolled her eyes. She pulled a special sword before his eyes. The ogre tried to crush her spine. Isabelle cut his eyes. The ogre yelled and began to die.
Isabelle met a gruesome gorilla. She didn't care or stare. The gorilla opened her eyes, then started to cry. Isabelle knew she was pretending too. She knew she was ravenous. She knew she was cavernous. The gorilla grew bigger while bubbly bumps came out too. Then she said, "Now I can taste you or eat you." Isabelle didn't worry. Isabelle didn't scream or scurry. Isabelle rubbed her hands, licked her lips, grabbed her by the cheeks and ate her whole.
Isabelle met a gorgeous gorilla. The gorilla fed on a pillar. The gorilla was beautiful but ready to pounce. So let me show you my dance. Prance around, say 1, 2, 3. Let's clap her hands and boogie like me. Ready to eat, I love your human dinner. So let me give you a pillar with the dinner, said Isabelle. In one big bite, Isabelle might fly a kite with one bite of the gorilla.
Isabelle met a ferocious dragon. Isabelle dropped her big brown wagon. Isabelle showed no fear because the big red dragon could not hear. She talked and then she stopped and the big red dragon fainted and dropped. So then she said, "You look old." But it is very cold. The dragon woke up and said, "I may be old, but I am vicious." Isabelle said, "But you are delicious." Then she ate the dragon for tea, and she said, "Dinner is served for me."
Isabelle met an enormous hare, but it didn't give Isabelle quite the scare. The hare was fair, but Isabelle didn't care. The hare said, "I was expecting you." "How do, Isabelle? Now I'll eat you." Isabelle didn't run. Isabelle didn't scream. She licked her fingers and she messed her hair up, and then Isabelle munched the bear up.
Maisie met a lazy bear. Crazy Maisie didn't care. The bear was fat, the bear was brown. The bear's mouth was 20 inches round. "Now it's time to eat you." Maisie didn't care. All that she wanted was that juicy bear. So she ate him up for her lunch. She let her hair down from a scrunch. Maisie took a nap after that bear was more than a snack.
Isabelle met a vicious vampire. He had his own empire. Isabelle didn't care. Isabelle was close for a stare. The vampire was cruel, the vampire was tall. Now it's dinner time. I hope you take flight climbs. Isabelle didn't worry. Isabelle didn't scream or scurry. Isabelle met a beautiful bear. The bear had an evil stare. Isabelle just didn't care. Isabelle asked the bear, "Why do you have so much hair?" He roared out loud, his teeth were as sharp as knives. Isabelle just didn't care. She tied her hair up. She looked strong and fierce. Then she gobbled the bear up like soup.
Gruesome bear. Isabelle didn't care. The bear was cavernous, the bear was crazy. The bear's mouth was big and lazy. The bear said, "Isabelle, glad to meet you. How do, Isabelle, now I'll eat you." Isabelle didn't worry. Isabelle didn't scream or scurry. She scrubbed her hands and she clipped her head. Then Isabelle ate the bear up.